Right now at 6, how Joplin schools are trying to make enrollment for kindergarten easier than ever.
And we've got ourselves a warm and windy day across the area out there. We'll take a look at that forecast and get you out the door for this Valentine's Day coming up.
Plus, why the proposal to censure a Carthage City Council member was no longer on last night's council agenda.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. It is Chiefs Parade Day. It is Valentine's Day.
A lot.
It works out to wear red because you can be doing it for Valentine's Day and for the Chiefs.
2 and 1.
Don't have to try and mix and match all these crazy colors and everything like that. You just get to do it.
Absolutely.
Our very own Brock Baldridge and photojournalist Ty Parks will be in Kansas City for the parade. Some live updates a little later today.
Yeah, we'll be getting that for our noon show, so be sure to tune in.
Super exciting if you can't be there in person. And of course, we're also streaming it on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com, and the search for KOAM News Now. And Mother Nature providing an excellent day for Valentine's Day. That's a little chilly right now, but comparatively it is warm, as we should be in the mid-upper 20s, and we are in the mid-upper 30s for the most part. This is our Cameron Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Got a bit of a breeze out there. The wind is going to be the main issue for us today. Otherwise, it is a beautiful day. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking fairly good as well as folks start to get their day underway. And some of them probably like me doing the last minute Valentine's Day shopping. But as I've emphasized, it's only because, at least for me, I can't hide anything from the wife. She'll know. She knows all my hiding places, so I have to wait until the day of, or she's going to find it, and that ruins the surprise. Take a look at these temperatures, though. Looking pretty good. Mid-upper 30s for most of us, a few low 30s out there, but again, still above normal. Kids getting on the bus today. We are looking at about 38, sunny skies, south breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And for those kids that have a full day of school, because I know some of them do not, low 60s this afternoon, sunny. Winds picking up, though, gusting out of the south upwards of 25 miles an hour. Again, that's going to be our deal for today, is the sunny and breezy. It's just going to be windy. Otherwise, take a look at these temperatures for lunch, maybe an afternoon snack, maybe dinner. Not bad as we go into the low to mid 60s across the area. Now, the winds are going to increase significantly as we head into the late evening and overnight hours. And then we have some pretty big changes on the horizon for us. We'll take a look at that in the full forecast a little later. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Pre-enrollment for Joplin School District kindergartners is now open. The district's kindergarten pre-enrollment opened Monday. Any child who will be 5 years old before August 1st and who lives within district boundaries is eligible for pre-enrollment. Parents must fill out online forms before bringing state-required documents to the school that their child will attend. Joplin administrators say this process may seem overwhelming, but they're ready to help.
Our parents are great. They do a great job of understanding that, hey, the earlier the better. That way we can properly plan for staffing of teachers. So we'd encourage parents, hey, if you know you have an incoming kindergartner, we'd love for you to go ahead and do the pre-enrollment so we can start that process.
Once the enrollment process is completed, parents will need to work with their school to schedule a kindergarten screening. Those screenings will take place from March 25th to April 5th. A proposal to censure a Carthage City Hall member apparently wasn't a topic at last night's council meeting. You might recall this Carthage City Council meeting drew a packed house last month when the council considered censuring member Tiffany Cossey. At that time, the council postponed taking action, saying the matter would be brought up at the next meeting. However, the issue is not on last night's agenda. City Administrator Greg Dagnan tells us that the council working on a settlement in the issue. We contacted Cossey yesterday, and she tells us she is still waiting for more information herself. A reporter for a Kansas newspaper that police raided last year filed a federal lawsuit yesterday against the paper's hometown and local officials, saying that the raid caused her physical and mental health problems. Marion County Record reporter Phyllis Zorn is seeking $950,000 in damages from the city of Marion, the former mayor, the county commission, and various law enforcement officials. The lawsuit calls them co-conspirators who deprived her of press and speech freedoms and the protection from unreasonable police searches guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. Authorities in Wichita make an arrest in the theft of a bronze Jackie Robinson statue. The statue, stolen from a youth baseball park last month, was found burned and dismantled in a trash can at another nearby park. Wichita police had arrested Rick Alderette earlier this month for an unrelated charge. He was charged for the theft yesterday. Police say there was no evidence of a hate crime, but think the suspect intended to sell the metal for scrap. Wichita police say it was only the first arrest and there are more to come. Small businesses in rural Kansas affected by persistent drought will soon receive some help. 6 business resiliency boot camps will be offered in coming months. These boot camps will focus on business and marketing training and will be free for business owners to attend. The first boot camp is planned for March 1st at Neosho County Community College in Chanute. We have more details on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. A Joplin area organization yesterday made a donation to Camp Childress. The camp provides recreation services for young adults and teaches them leadership skills. The organization, 100 Women Who Care Today, donated $3,900 to the camp.
The restroom need here is great. For families to come out, the outhouses, etc., are just not enough. And yet here is a perfect place to spend in nature and getting to know each other and getting to know nature.
Since it was formed in 2018, the organization has donated more than $60,000 to local charities. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Disneyland employees who perform as various Disney characters are seeking to join the Actors Equity Association. Plus, yesterday evening, the U.S. House voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. We'll have the latest. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Frank here with Briggs & Fort Scott. We have all.
See your options at the Finishing Touch, downtown Pittsburgh.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, Disneyland employees who perform as various Disney characters are seeking to join the Actors Equity Association. The union represents performers from actors on Broadway to strippers in Los Angeles. The union says about 60% of the 1,700 Disneyland employees in the characters and parades departments have signed cards seeking a union representation election. Performers doing the same work at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, are already in a union and have been for years. And until recently, the Disney World performers were paid more than their Disneyland counterparts, but the cost of living is significantly greater in Orange County, California, where Disneyland is located, than in Orlando. More than 21,000 Disneyland employees are represented by more than a dozen unions. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was released from the hospital on Tuesday and resumed his full duties working from home. Austin was hospitalized on Sunday just weeks after he was admitted following complications from a procedure to treat his prostate cancer. This time, Austin was treated for a bladder issue and underwent non-surgical procedures under general anesthesia. According to doctors, Austin is expected to return to the Pentagon later this week. Doctors also said he's expected to make a full recovery from his cancer diagnosis. Tuesday, President Joe Biden and Austin spoke on the phone, and Biden wished him well in his recovery. And sources in New York say former President Donald Trump could face another multi-million-dollar judgment on Friday. That's when Trump and his namesake real estate business will find out how much he will be ordered to pay in his civil fraud trial in New York. Judge Arthur Agorin originally said he was hoping to issue this ruling last month, but delays prevented that from happening. The New York AG's office sued the former president, accusing him of fraudulently inflating the value of his properties in order to get better rates for insurance and loans. The state is seeking more than $370 million and wants Trump banned from ever doing business in New York. Trump and his sons have repeatedly denied any illegal actions. And a spokesperson for the White House counsel's office was sent a letter to an organization of journalists condemning their coverage of President Joe Biden's handlings of classified files. In a frustrated letter sent to the White House Correspondents Association by Ian Sams on Tuesday, he expressed concerns on how the news media covered special counsel Robert Hur's nearly 400-page report and his references to the president's mental sharpness. Sams said Hur's, quote, wrong and inappropriate personal comments have distracted from due attention to the substance. The White House is frustrated that the press also portrayed Hur's report as conclusively finding that Biden willfully mishandled classified material. In the letter, Sam said, in part, he is compelled to help illustrate the facts and urged caution in future reporting. Yesterday evening, the U.S. House voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas with a party-line razor-thin vote. It was their second attempt after last week's vote failed, and the first time a cabinet secretary has been impeached since the 1870s. 3 Republicans joined Democrats again in opposition to impeaching Mayorkas. CBS News correspondent Astrid Martinez has more from New York.
The resolution is adopted.
By a margin of just 1 vote, House Republicans impeached Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
Our conference is willing to hold the Biden administration accountable, especially when the Secretary of Homeland Security is violating our federal immigration laws.
House Republicans allege that Mayorkas committed high crimes and misdemeanors by not enforcing immigration laws. U.S. border officials encountered nearly 2.5 million migrants last fiscal year alone, a record high. In a statement, President Biden called the House vote a, quote, blatant act of unconstitutional partisanship.
The shortcomings Republicans complain about are because they won't give him additional legislation to better secure the border.
At the White House yesterday, the president pushed the House to take up a Senate-passed aid package that would give $95 billion to Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine.
History is watching. Failure to support Ukraine at this critical moment will never be forgotten.
But Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson has indicated he's in no hurry to bring up the legislation for a vote in his chamber. Astrid Martinez, CBS News.
The Democrat-controlled U.S. Senate is expected to begin the impeachment trial for Secretary Mayorkas before the end of the month, though the body is not likely to convict and remove him from office. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Now here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a mild Valentine's Day. I almost forgot what day it was, but the Chiefs parade, the Valentine's Day going on today. We had the Super Bowl win Sunday. It's been a busy week, and Mother Nature helping us celebrate all of those things. Skywatch Storm Tracker, just a few stray clouds out there. It is otherwise clear across the area, even once we zoom it out. Up to our north, they're dealing with some snow, some winter storm watches, winter storm warnings up there, things that we don't have to deal with, at least for today. As for our Valentine's Day, it is going to be a great one. We've got highs into the low to mid 60s. It's going to be breezy. Winds out of the south gusting up to 25, so you're going to want to hold on to those Valentines. And then the winds pick up this evening, going upwards of 40, 45 miles an hour as we fall back into the low 40s. We're going to have another complete look at your forecast, including some changes on the way here in just a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
Life. Proven pest solutions for every season.
If you think heavy metal music attracts only two-legged fans, wait till you see a horse that's gone viral for how she rocks out. She gives a whole new meaning to the term rocking horse. Jeannie Moose reports on a musical chestnut mare extraordinaire.
Come on, it's party time.
How does this Canadian racehorse named Pretty party? She's a headbanger, but only to certain songs.
Metal was her go-to headbanging music, and she loves it.
Her groom, Autumn Purdy, noticed the heavier the metal music, the more the horse would headbang.
Yeah, I looked to my barn manager. I said, "Do you see what she's doing?" We turn the music off. She stops.
At Boger Farms in Ontario, they tested country music. She turned her butt to it, but her appetite for metal was obvious. She feels like she's sort of on beat.
She always is. It's incredible. No matter what song we play, slow jams, she's slow. Heavy songs, she's going with the beat.
Sometimes she gets overexcited. Her online fans call her a rocking horse. Her favorite band so far seems to be Slipknot. We had to cut the dirty lyrics, but 7-year-old Pretty isn't offended. Her groom plans to post weekly music reviews with ratings based on headbanging intensity or lack thereof. She feels like a cross between BoJack of cartoon fame and Mr. Ed.
Hello.
The talking horse.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
If this horse could sing, she'd probably sing herself. Horse. Jeannie Moose, CNN. New York.
Surprisingly, Pretty wasn't that into Rage Against the Machine. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
An important distinction there, and we have got ourselves Valentine's Day, a great opportunity for great day for the Chiefs parade, great day to celebrate your loved ones, and just a great day to be outdoors. But changes are on the way. We're going to look at all that when the KOAM Morning News returns.
We choose to be here for many of the same reasons.
At KOAMnewsnow.com/HeroFund.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, now 6:21 on this Wednesday morning. It's a Valentine's Day. It's also Chiefs Parade Day. A lot going on, and Mother Nature is doing a great job with us this morning as well. We're still cold outside, but we're warmer than where we should be by about 10 degrees. We do have a bit of a light breeze under these clear skies. That was our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. This is the MoDOT camera, firmly affixed to a traffic signal pole at 20th and Range Line, and it is looking quite nice as well. The winds are going to be the big story heading into today, tonight, and the first part of our Thursday, and then we have some other changes on the way that we'll discuss. Today, south winds gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour, but as we head later into the evening and overnight, those winds begin to pick up across the area, and late tonight, we're talking gusts 40, potentially as high as 45 miles an hour out there, so do be prepared for that, and make sure you hold on to those Valentine's Day gifts if you're buying them last minute like I am today. Heading into early tomorrow morning, still out of the south-southwest, these winds still gusting upwards of 30. As we head into the afternoon, a system gets closer. It's going to bring some changes for us heading into our Friday, but the winds will calm down, but they'll also shift out of the north and east across the area as well, ushering in some much cooler weather for us. 39 in Joplin right now. It does feel like 33 though, with a south breeze at about 8 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region for the most part have been holding into the mid to upper 30s across the area, and we should be mid upper 20s. So again, we're a bit warmer than where we should be. Still cold, but warmer than where we should be. But we do have some low 30s, even a couple of upper 20s sprinkled in there. We're looking at sunny skies as we get the day underway. Again, breezy mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. As we head into the afternoon, a very warm day, about 20 degrees above normal as we go low mid 60s. Some of us, especially out west, could even go into the upper 60s. And then, of course, we have to contend with that wind out there. The winds really pick up again as we go through the late evening and overnight hours, but we're still well above normal tonight as we fall back into the low to mid 40s for our overnight lows. Then we head into Friday, and that's when we start to see a few changes. Take a look. We have this system up to the north. Now, it's going to cause more problems to our north than it will cause for us. At least that's the expectation at this point. But we'll start the day Friday mild. We're going to have early highs on Friday, and then we're going to cool off. We'll have some showers here and there. And then in the northern half of our area, as we go through the morning on Friday and into the very early afternoon, we could see a wintry mix, maybe even some light snow. So we're not expecting much at this point in terms of snow where we do see it, but we could get upwards of a dusting to maybe 2 inches, but it's something we'll keep an eye on for you. It'll be gone by the afternoon though. So tomorrow again, a little cooler, mid 50s for our highs, much cooler, in fact below average. Friday and Saturday as we fall into the low 40s, and then as we head into next week, we see more sunshine and we see the warm weather return, upper 50s Monday, low to mid 60s by Tuesday. That's check your forecast. Now we're going to send it over to Caitlin with Health Watch.
New data finds no significant link between preterm births and autism. Researchers in Israel analyzed more than 100,000 pregnancies, taking into consideration factors like ethnicity, maternal age, and gender. They say the single factor of preterm birth is unlikely to be the cause of autism spectrum disorder. The HPV vaccine has been recommended for both girls and boys since 2011, but a new CDC survey shows only that 38% of children ages 9 to 17 have received at least one dose. White and black children are more likely to be vaccinated than Asian or Hispanic children. The human papillomavirus is the most common sexually transmitted infection in the U.S. and causes almost all cervical cancers. And using scents to drum up memories may be effective at treating depression. A team from the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine had participants smell common items like coffee grounds, oranges, and even Vicks Vapor Rub. Depressed individuals had more vivid memories than when given word cues, and they were more likely to remember positive memories, even though they were not directed to do so. And that's a look at some of today's biggest top stories. We'll be right back with more news.
Mattress sets, only at Ashley.
Right now at 6:30, love blooms in Joplin as some of the city's florists get ready for Valentine's Day.
And it's going to be an absolutely beautiful Valentine's Day out there. Warm, a bit on the breezy side though. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Creative Learning Alliance in Joplin prepares a time capsule to be buried during the April solar eclipse.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6:28 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is Valentine's Day. It's Cheeks Parade Day. There's a lot going on.
A lot to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Love and happiness is in the air in the 4 states.
Yes,
I'll tell you that much.
It certainly is. And of course, our very own Brock Baldridge and photojournalist Ty Parks both will be in Kansas City for the parade. We'll have live updates during the KOAM News at noon. And of course, you can stream it live on our YouTube channel as well. So that's exciting. And before and after that, it's Valentine's Day. You don't want to forget about your sweetheart, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks like me probably doing some last-minute shopping today, and it's going to be great weather to do it, but it's going to be breezy, so you want to hold on to those Valentine's Day gifts out there. You do not want your $100 or more, as that one story suggested, to just blow away in the wind. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good so far out there as we get our day underway. Temperatures about 10 degrees above average for most of us, as the majority of the regions you can see mid-upper 30s out there, but we do have some cooler spots. Miami, for example, and Jay, both at 29, and our average lows, our temperatures this time of year, should be mid-upper 20s. So Miami, Jay, Grove, close to that. The rest of us, a little warmer than where we should be. Kids getting on the bus this morning, sunny skies, south breeze about 5 to 10. We're talking 38 degrees at 7 a.m. when the bus brings them home for those that have a full day of school. I know some don't. Mine don't. Joplin does not. But those that do, we're looking at 62 when that bus brings them home in the afternoon. But there's that thing, the south breeze gusting to 25. In fact, later tonight, it'll be gusting upwards of 40, 45 miles an hour. So keep that in mind. But for today, whether you're doing a Valentine's Day lunch, maybe an afternoon meeting, or perhaps dinner, it's going to be great out there. Sunny, breezy, temperatures low to mid 60s. Again, though, we have some changes on the way. When it gets really breezy, you know something's up. And we're going to talk about what kinds of changes are on the way in the full forecast a little later. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, yesterday was Mardi Gras, the day before many Christian denominations began the season of Lent. A local nursing home was celebrating with the help of furry friends. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Residents at St. Luke's Assisted Living Facility in Carthage enjoy activities such as bingo and socializing. But on this Fat Tuesday, things are more festive.
You are just beautiful. We do lots of fun things here at St. Luke's. The calendar is full every month and we want to keep them tired, happy and tired.
Cassie comes up with the best ideas.
We are having Remy's Dog Academy from Joplin come. They are several dogs dressed up in costumes, and we're going to parade around the facility to make the residents smile today for Mardi Gras.
Instead of a band and floats, it's cute furry friends passing out licks and beads.
And that's mainly what we bring here is the dogs, but we've had many requests to have a few snakes, and I just happen to own 2.
Remy's Canine Academy brings trained dogs to visit the residents, along with a snake. But this is the first time the dogs participated in the Mardi Gras celebration.
The ones who will point out and go, oh, I had a dog just like that. And you just bring them right over and the dogs just connect with them and it makes them happy all day long.
Reporting in Carthage, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
And this is the first year that St. Luke's has celebrated Mardi Gras this way. By the way, Lent ends with Easter, which falls on March 31st this year. And the solar eclipse is coming up in March and has captured the imagination of the nation. And kids in Joplin are no different. Yesterday, kids at the Alliance Learning Center came up with some ideas to pack a time capsule in celebration of the upcoming event to be sealed away until the next solar eclipse. The hope is that everyone involved with the project will return to unseal the capsule.
The time capsule will live here over the course of the 20 years, and hopefully the 14 children in the room will be still in the Joplin area and able to come back and open it in 20 years. And that will be, well, hopefully I'll be here in 20 years so that I can be here to open and help them open the time capsule.
The capsule will remain buried until the next solar eclipse is visible in the United States, which is in 2044. Yesterday, the Joplin Library focused less on romance and more on friendships for Valentine's Day. They partnered with Coley's Cookies to host a Palentine's cookie workshop. Folks were able to stop by and learn how to decorate cookies like a pro.
Well, Post Art Library, our acronym is PAL, and so we thought it would be fun to call it a Palentine's Day workshop. We wanted to really get across to people that you could come with your best friend, you could come with, one of your relatives.
It was a choice, and because I love her and she trusts me to sometimes make decisions when we find stuff, and I trust her, and it's a nice surprise.
All the materials and equipment were provided free of charge, including the heart-shaped cookies attendees decorated. Some flower shops in Joplin rose to the occasion to get ready for Valentine's Day. Flower shop owners and employees started planning for their busiest day of the year back in December. This week, leading to the special occasion, some flower shops worked extra hours and had extra staff to accommodate the hundreds of orders and deliveries.
Everyone wants their flowers on February 14th. Mother's Day is also busy, but that stretches out through the whole week. And then Sunday we normally close to enjoy Mother's Day.
So before Valentine's Day, we definitely spend a lot more hours preparing. We have some gifts that are not flowers, so we definitely get those ready beforehand, all that we can.
The flower shops also said clients might see flower prices a little bit higher than last year. According to them, red roses are the most popular flowers on Valentine's Day. 20 teams yesterday took part in the Southeast Kansas Youth Basketball and Cheer event. The event, hosted by Special Olympics Kansas, featured a cheer competition and basketball competition. For Special Olympics officials, the event served as another way to spread a lot of joy.
Honestly, it makes me so happy because seeing their reaction of making a basket or making that pass to one of their teammates, it just excites them and it excites everyone in the crowd, and I think it just brings everyone joy and everyone gets excited for them.
Special Olympics Kansas has fun events all year round, and they always welcome volunteers. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. More people are falling out of love with dating apps and looking for other ways to make a connection. We'll have the details. Plus, we have a warm and windy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch this morning, more people are falling out of love with dating apps and looking for other ways to make a connection. Bradley Blackburn has more on how speed dating is making a comeback.
On a Monday night in Manhattan, the back room at Pando Park was packed with people, all looking for a connection.
We'll meet someone to date.
Like many here, Jonathan Cummings is tired of dating apps and sees value in being face-to-face instead of swiping on a screen.
You can look at their body language, you can see if they smile at my silly joke, and that means a lot.
The only phone in sight,
here we go with round 2.
Was a 6-minute timer from host Stacey Harris with speed dating company My Cheeky Date.
Everybody gets to meet everybody. I say you can talk to anyone for 6 minutes.
This company hosts speed dating here in New York and in cities across the country and around the world. There are plenty of people looking for love offline. According to Eventbrite, attendance at in-person singles and dating events grew more than 40% last year. The number of events was up more than 60% compared to before the pandemic.
Dating fatigue is a real thing.
Maria Avgatidas is a professional matchmaker and Eventbrite's dating expert. She's found Gen Z is even more skeptical about meeting on apps.
Are you using an AI-generated photo online to get the swipes, or is this photo slightly blurry, clearly a person, clearly real, no filters? Gen Z is showing us that they've grown up in a digital world. They're seeking more analog dating interactions.
At speed dating, a spark can happen fast, sometimes not in the way you'd imagine. Jawan Kim is still looking for Mr. Right, but has found some new friends.
The first 2 times, I met a lot of cool girlfriends. Nothing romantic has blossomed, but maybe 3rd time's the charm.
A silver lining in the search for love. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And according to Eventbrite, unique in 2023, the cities with the highest percentage of dating and singles events included New York, LA, and Houston. And the latest Labor Department data shows consumer prices rose an unexpectedly high 3.1% in January compared to last year. Rising food costs were partly to blame. Investors worry the new data could cause the Federal Reserve to put off cutting its benchmark interest rate. Most economists have predicted that interest rate cuts could come sometime in May or June. And last Sunday's Super Bowl continues to break records. The Nevada Gaming Commission now says an all-time Super Bowl high of more than $185 million was wagered on the big game this year on 182 sports books. The sportsbook win total was just under $7 million. And the National Retail Federation predicts Americans will spend more than $25 billion to mark this Valentine's Day. More than half of those surveyed say that they plan to celebrate with candy, greeting cards, and flowers as the top 3 gift items. Americans are also expected to spend nearly $5 billion on an evening out. Valentine's Day typically is a big day for small businesses. Marciela de la Cruz talked to some small business owners in Sacramento about how inflation is impacting their Valentine's Day plans.
Welcome in.
February 14th is a romantic tradition for many couples.
We get ready about a couple months, maybe even longer than that, ordering vases, ordering flowers.
But inflation may be the thorn in this year's spending.
I'll give you a complimentary piece. How's that? I'm selling a lot more the smaller sized heart boxes as opposed to these larger ones.
Despite traditionally being one of the best days for local businesses,
Valentine's Day is our second biggest holiday.
Business owners in different industries are noticing fewer pre-orders.
Typically, in the past, we have, had to put kind of like a halt to our orders. This year, we're accepting more orders than usual.
So as inflation threatens to break hearts, a lot of people are opting for smaller, more affordable gifts.
Anything in the smaller range, the $10 range, which I don't have any more of this item anymore, is sold out.
And Sacramentans are not alone. A survey from Wallet Hub shows that 46% of Americans say that inflation is impacting their Valentine's Day plans. With this in mind, business owners are hoping that those last-minute shoppers make a comeback to save those sales.
I think it's mostly men. They're always at the last minute grabbing something, so I think we're going to do well tomorrow.
And maybe once again help some sell out of their product.
There's a lot of last minute orders, and then we do get a lot of walk-ins, so that's why we sold out last year, not because of any pre-orders.
And that's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got an absolutely beautiful Valentine's Day. Great start out there as well. Take a look. The sunrise from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. An absolutely gorgeous start to the day. MoDOT camera 20th and range line also looking pretty good. The only thing that we're really going to have to contend with today is going to be those gusty winds. We're going to see winds out of the south gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Right now, though, temperatures for the most part mid-upper 30s. So most of us about 10 degrees above where we should be. Kids getting on the bus this morning. It's going to be chilly, but not bad. Upper 30s, sunny skies, south breeze around 5 to 10. And then again by this afternoon, those winds start gusting upwards of 25 out of the south. Sunny skies, low 60s when that bus brings them back home. And for our Valentine's Day, whether you're doing lunch, something this afternoon, or perhaps dinner, it's going to be great. Highs today, once again, low mid 60s out there, sunny and breezy. That's all we have to contend with. Now, the winds will really pick up later this evening and into the overnight ahead of some pretty big changes in our forecast. We'll cover those here in just a moment. It's also just about time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Those are up after the break. But first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
Hello to you, I'm Gail King. Coming right up on CBS Mornings, it's Valentine's Day, and 2024 is being considered the year of the proposal. We'll find out why a massive wedding boom is now underway. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Warranty lasts forever at Roper Honda.
All right, time for some Valentine's Day birthdays, and we're beginning in Golden City with Shasta Lynn Broyles celebrating birthday number 4. It says happy birthday from great grandma and pa.
Aww, and happy 6th birthday to Luke Allen Rice.
And in Joplin, Carly Greer celebrating birthday number 13. A very happy birthday to you, Carly.
Over in Parsons, happy 16th birthday to Maverick Sharp.
And in Chetopa, Darcy Bruce celebrating birthday number 23. Happy birthday, Darcy.
Happy 48th birthday to Brandon Lewis.
And in Joplin, Larry Dagonia celebrating birthday number 68. Says your family loves you. Happy birthday, Larry.
Over in Chanute, happy 68th birthday to Peggy Myers.
And our neighbor in Crestline, Paul Cup, celebrating birthday number 75. A very happy birthday to you, Paul.
And happy 85th birthday to Wilma Dooley of Columbus, Kansas.
And over in McClure, Kansas, Frosty and Roe Parsons celebrating their 21st year of wedded bliss. They were one of those couples that believed in getting married on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's great.
That can make things more special. Very happy anniversary to the Parsons family.
Very romantic. And we're going to wrap it up with Daryl Bloomfield over in Fort Scott, Kansas. Happy 77th birthday to you.
All right, that birthday list considerably better than yesterday's, because yesterday only had like 4.
Are there just not a lot of babies born this time of year?
Apparently not. There must have been some kind of lull going on, but at least this list was better. We want to continue to enhance the lists. How can we do that, Caitlin?
All you got to do is submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com.
And as we've mentioned, don't forget the deadline there on the bottom of your screen. That way you make sure that your birthday and or anniversary make it on air on the right day. All right, let's talk about that forecast. Let's talk about some changes on the way. This is our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Beautiful view of that sunrise, looking great. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range line, beginning to fill up with more vehicles as folks are either doing some last-minute shopping, which I intend to do today, or they're just getting ready for another day of work, or they're going to go find the friend with the largest TV so they can go to KOAM News Now on YouTube and stream the Chiefs parade today. Those are probably the 3 most likely things folks are doing. Winds today are going to be the issue. Not Wednesday, but winds today will be an issue as they're going to be out of the south, gusting upwards of 25, maybe even upwards of 30 miles an hour. It won't be until later this evening and overnight that the winds will really start to ramp up. Still out of the south initially, but they'll be gusting 40, 45 miles an hour as we go overnight tonight. So if you hear the popping and creaking of your walls or the roof, or you hear the trees swashing around out there in the middle of the night, don't worry, you're not under attack. It's just going to be very windy. And those gusty winds will continue now out of the southwest and out of the west as we head into early tomorrow morning. And then the system that's going to bring us some big changes gets close enough that now our winds have shifted out of the northeast. But as we head into the afternoon on Thursday, they at least begin to calm down a bit out there. Take another look at this sunrise. This is our camera, 7th and Range line in Joplin. Looks pretty good as well. It is 39 in Joplin. Feels like 33 with the south breeze at about 8. Remember, we should be in the mid to upper 20s right now. We've got some upper 20s out there, even some low 30s, but the majority of the area holding on to mid to upper 30s. So we're about 10 degrees above where we should be. Today, sunny as we start the day, breezy as we start the day, warm as we start the day. 55 by 11 o'clock this morning, ahead of highs in the low to mid 60s across the area. We could even see, especially out west into the southwest, some of us could make it into the upper 60s today. So not feeling like Valentine's Day at all, but a great day to celebrate. But with the winds, if you're doing some last-minute Valentine's Day shopping, fellas, you want to make sure your money doesn't just blow away. Hold on to those Valentine's Day gifts or they will be gone. A few clouds through the evening and overnight and still well above normal as we fall back into the low to mid 40s overnight. Then we head into our Friday, and that's where our big changes are coming. We're going to have early highs Friday and be a little bit warmer, not by much, but they're going to be warmer than what it'll be later in the day. Starting the day with a few isolated to widely scattered showers, and as the morning progresses, we're going to see more showers across the area. But as you see by about mid-morning, we have that opportunity for a wintry mix, perhaps some light snow, especially in the northern half of our viewing area. And so right now, we're not expecting much from this snow. We're talking maybe a dusting to a couple of inches, depending on how good it really comes down. But it's something we'll keep an eye on, something you should keep an eye on, as it could lead to some slick spots out there as we head into Friday. And by the afternoon hours on Friday, it is out of here as it moves on out to our east, and then eventually we're going to warm back up. We'll talk about that 7-day forecast plus the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we make the transition over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to take a deeper look at the psychology of a sports fan. That's at 7 a.m. on Fox 14.
Now, we're proud to salute Floyd Ellison, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Pre-enrollment for Joplin School District kindergartners is now open. The district's kindergarten pre-enrollment opened Monday. Any child who will be 5 years old before August 1st and who lives within district boundaries is eligible for pre-enrollment. Parents must fill out online forms before bringing state-required documents to the school their child will attend. Joplin administrators say this process may seem overwhelming, but they're ready to help. Once the enrollment process is completed, parents will need to work with their school to schedule a kindergarten screening. Those screenings will take place from March 25th to April 5th. A proposal to censure a Carthage City Council member apparently wasn't on yesterday's council meeting. You might recall this Carthage City Council meeting drew a packed house last month when the council considered censuring member Tiffany Cossey. At that time, the council postponed taking action, saying the matter would be brought up at the next meeting. However, the issue was not on last night's agenda. City Administrator Greg Dagnan tells us that the council is working on a settlement in the issue. We contacted Cossey yesterday and she tells us she is still waiting for more information herself. And yesterday, the Jasper Newton chapter of 100 Women Who Care donated $3,900 to Camp Childress. Camp Childress helps prepare for leadership through character building. While the camp can always use the funds, these particular funds will go to a specific use. Since it was formed in 2018, the organization has donated more than $60,000 to local charities. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And a recap on that Valentine's Day forecast. We're looking at low to mid 60s, maybe even some upper 60s. Sunny skies, south winds gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Those gusts push 40 to 45 late evening and overnight tonight. Will still be pretty mild with a few clouds here and there going back into the low to mid 40s. Cooler tomorrow, mid 50s, partly cloudy. Then we could see some rain, maybe a brief wintry mix for us Friday morning. And much colder, below average Friday and Saturday. But worry not, as we head into the next work week, these nice temperatures return. Upper 50s Monday, mid 60s by Tuesday.
And coming up today at noon, we're making Cupid's fish fillets in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I love Howard. He has some of the most creative dishes, and sometimes they sound very odd, but then they actually end up being really cool. Well, your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. If you're looking for love this Valentine's Day, you need to be careful. That's why I'm happily married at this point. Romance scammers are out there. Next on CBS Mornings, hear from one woman who lost who has $1 million to lose in the first place, but lost more than $1 million and got her heart broken.
That's a double whammy right there.
Tell me about it.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we'll see why inflation rose hotter than expected in January.
And Wendy Powell joining us in the studio for another Wildcat Wednesday. You do not want to miss this one. However, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.